Dear friends at the Global Assembly of the Movement for Budget Transparency, Accountability and Participation, it is an honor to be with you, and it is a pleasure to be able to address you even though I'm not physically in Tanzania. I very much appreciate this opportunity and will use it in this case to explain the process that we followed in order to develop the Declaration of Principles that you are about to formally sign. It was very important for us from the beginning on to be able to develop a document that would encapsulate or encompass the collective identity that we want our movement to have. And in order to achieve that, it was crucially important to make sure that all of you have relevant opportunities throughout the process in order to define what it is that should define us and to express your opinions about if whatever is coming through the Declaration of Principles speaks for what you stand for, in order to feel that this is a movement that you not only join, but that you are actually starting. We were convinced that everything that was needed to start this movement was already there. We have been working for so many years together, and we have been working for so many years on this topic constantly throughout very diverse circumstances, but still finding relevant points of connections and joint agendas. All of that made us believe that the substance, the core content for what we needed was already there, spelled out, just looking for a way to be written up in this Declaration of Principles. So what did we do? We started by asking all of you to carry out consultative processes in your countries, with your partners, within your organizations, in order to define what the principles of the movement should be and what objectives should drive it. We then gathered this input and systematized it regionally and topically in order to understand what the recurrent issues are, what some of the core identity issues would be in order to define our Declaration of Principles, and what are the ideals behind what you were expressing through the input that you were sending us. Based on those inputs, we developed 2 draft zeros of a Declaration of Principles, which were very preliminary, but which had the purpose of giving the steering committee a starting point to develop what you got to see as the first draft of the Declaration of Principles. The steering committee had a face-to-face meeting in which the Declaration of Principles was discussed and debated with very high spirits for a whole day. And after that, a working group was constituted, which worked exclusively on refining and further developing a Declaration of Principles. That working group pulled together the first draft, which was then again sent to all of you in order to have comments, suggestions for changes, modifications, expressions regarding important topics that might have been left out or issues that might not be correctly stated. After several weeks, we gathered again your comments, your inputs, in order to refine the first draft of the Declaration of Principles, and the working group of the steering committee dedicated to this task got back to refining, reworking, rewriting, and polishing what then was sent out to you as the final Declaration of Principles. It has been a work of several months to pull this declaration together. It was exciting. It was intensive. in terms of trying to balance and to gather inputs and understand what they meant and how they could be integrated into different pieces of the Declaration of Principles. But I think that we finished up with a document that is a very fair base and starting point for the movement that is being born today in Dar es Salaam. This is the origin of the Dar es Salaam Declaration, and it has been endorsed already by most of you. What follows now is your own ceremony to give life to this Declaration of Principles, to formally sign it, and to celebrate the birth of our movement. I wish I was with you, but my heart definitely is with you. Good night.